rabbits are running across my yard right now, and my dog is freaking out. She really wants to get them. They've been in our backyard, and this is the first year that they've been in our backyard, and she doesn't like it. She's not happy with the situation. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, X Stitch and Chill. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I am excited to share all my progress with you. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kelsey, and this channel is all about cross-stitching and the movies, TV shows, books, things that I am doing while I cross-stitch. So I am back from my trip to the UK. I think in my last video I had said we were going to Cornwall, but that didn't happen. We did go to the UK. We were up in Birmingham, in Telford for my husband's work, and then we went down to the Cotswolds and then continued to Bath, and then we went over to London. So didn't get all the way to Cornwall. It was a little too far for the amount of time that we had. I don't think I've ever planned a trip that quickly, let alone an international trip that quickly. I was literally booking things like the week before we left. It was fun though. We had a really great time. And if you stay to the end of the video, I'll share some things about our trip with you. It's been a little while, and I really didn't get too much stitching done between my last FlossTube and now since we were gone. But I do have some updates for you guys, and I'm really excited to share them. So let's get into it. There are no finishes, there are no restarts, there's nothing new. It is all strictly whips today. So the first one we are going to talk about is my Deathly Hallows stitch. It is charted by Thread Geeks, and it is art by DJ Vigo. I think last time you guys saw it, it looked like this. And I had decided that I was going to use it kind of as like a focus piece for April. And I did focus on it, but I didn't focus on it. So I didn't get quite as much done as I had wanted to, but I did get a good chunk done. So here is my progress so far. So as you can see, there is still a lot of blue stitches that need to get done and black stitches. So I think I'm like 77% done with the third page. And then I can move down into this page, I think. So yeah, I did get a good amount of progress because I did start at like 0. So getting to 77% is pretty good, especially on something that's like so intense like this and so confetti heavy and everything. So yeah, I think I did a pretty good job on getting as much as I could done on this one. I still love it, and I still think it's beautiful, and I'm very excited to keep working on it, but I think I'm going to set it aside for a little bit. Probably not too long, but I do think I want to set it aside and focus on a couple other things. One thing I want to do is bring Schitt's Creek back out, which is my other full coverage project. So look forward to seeing that in some upcoming floss tubes. But for now, Deathly Hallows is going to take a hiatus, and we're sad about that. But I want to get some progress on some other things, so I can't spend all of my time working on one project. I mean, if I spent all my time working on one project, it'd probably get done a lot faster, but I have several other projects I'm working on, so yeah. The next one is my Heart of the Seasons spring stitch. I am doing this one as a stitch along with some of my buddies from my Twitch stream. And we are sharing in our Discord as well as Instagram under the hashtag Heart of the Seasons Sal. The patterns are by Little Dove Stitches, and so the idea is to stitch all 4 patterns for all 4 seasons throughout the year. The first one we are doing is spring, which is a short one. We gave ourselves April and May to finish spring. Right now, Caitlin Stitches is winning. I think she has the most done that I know of. But I have a pretty valiant effort here. I am a little over 50% done. I don't think I'm to 60% yet, but this is what it looked like the last time I guys showed you. Now I have a pretty good way going. So here is my progress. So I've been stitching pretty heavily on this one, just so I can get it done before the end of May. It's nice to have so many other people doing it to like keep us all motivated and everything. It's also super fun to see like where people started and where they are and like how they've decided to tackle the project. I've also, this is the Zweigart 18 count. I think it's not ice blue. I can't remember what it's called. I'll put it on the screen. But this is the called for fabric. And then I've seen a couple people on Instagram doing different fabrics, and oh my gosh, I love them. I'm like so excited because I'm one of those people who like, I'm following the directions. The directions say get this fabric. And if I can't find that fabric, I don't know what I'm gonna do. There's a little bit of back stitching I still need to do up here at the top, like along this. There's like these little like white loops that need to get done. There's a little back stitching on the birds that need to get done. So I've been really enjoying working on this one. It's pretty fun. Like it has some complicated areas and then some simple areas, and it's fun to work on, and it makes me happy, and I like seeing everybody else's progress. So I'm still working on page 3 right here. There's some sheep down here that are so cute. So yeah, looking forward to more progress. It's okay. You don't need to get the bunnies. I'm okay with the bunnies, okay? It's all right. It's all right. The next one I have to share with you guys is my Farming Magic Stitch Along. I think last time I was working on it, I was just starting part 4. I have finished part 4, but I don't want to take my stitch out of the hoop because I'm lazy. It's like perfectly wrapped up and everything. I don't want to have to redo it. So this is the one that I took with me to the UK, and I didn't get a ton of work done on it. I was able to finish part 4 and then get started on part 5, which looks like this. It's a big red barn and there's some cute clouds, and I'm really excited to stitch this one because it's like more of like a block of color that I like to do versus like the bouncing around to all the different colors. So yeah, I'm excited to work on this barn. So I finished part 4 while we were in the UK, and then I was going to start part 5, and I started on the barn, and I got a little bit done of like the outline of it. And then I was on the plane and I had my needle binder and everything. I don't know what happened. It like flipped off of my needle binder and fell, and I never found it. So I lost it, luckily, on the way home. But we had a 5-hour layover in Detroit, and I was like, what am I gonna do now? I lost my needle and I forgot to bring extra ones. I have like a little pack and I just needed to throw it in the bag, and I didn't do it. So the stitching was over at that point. And this is where I am. It's so cute. Lots of red, lots of 666. Dun dun dun. But the clouds will be up here, and then there's a few other little things around it. But this part is pretty much just the barn. So yeah, I've been enjoying working on that one and feeling like, oh, I'm getting a lot done. Like this has gone fast. Most of this was done yesterday. So quick. This one's going quick. This part's going quicker than the others. I may not always get to share this one with you because A, I might not be working on it, and B, my husband might be home and I can't talk about it, but he's not home right now. So, and that is my F1 tracks. I haven't worked on this very much because my husband's home and it still pisses me off. So I am stitching this on a 28 count linen, and I am doing 2/1 10 stitch. So just half stitches. And I started with the first one, which is Bahrain, and then I think the next one is Saudi Arabia. No, that one's last. I don't know what the second racetrack is, but anyway, so this is where I'm at with it. So I've gotten one racetrack totally done and one racetrack kind of started. It's pretty much like a little like skinny loop, so it's pretty much like a mirror image of the other side going down. That needs to get done. But again, this one's like a love-hate relationship. Like sometimes I look at it and I'm like, oh, it looks great. Look how cool it looks. And then sometimes I look at it and I'm like, this is shit. What am I doing? Why am I doing this to myself? I think sometimes the stitches look really good and sometimes they don't. I feel like trying to find the like right tension has been really hard because it's not like Aida where you can just kind of like pull it tight. You have to like, there's a little finesse to it, I feel like, to make it look nice. And sometimes I get it right and sometimes I do not. And it's just so tiny. And oh God, this may be a start over. I don't know, but I'm just not like in love with it. And then I did start doing the name of the track next to the first one. And I have like a red floss for it. And the red was kind of hard to see on the green for starters. And then it also was like, I didn't like how it looked. You couldn't really read it very well. And I didn't love it. So I tore it out and then I was like, maybe I just don't do the track names. I just put the tracks on there. I don't know. We'll see. This one is, you know, but my husband doesn't know about it. So if it never happens, it never happens. He doesn't have to know. All right, the last stitch I have to share with you guys is my temperature stitch. I am all caught up to May 11th. And this one's gotten like a lot easier to do now that it's starting to like loop in on itself because I don't really have to pay attention too much. Like I never get the pattern out for it. I just am like, oh yeah, stitch. I get the colors out and I know where everything goes. But yeah, this is what it looked like last time. I'm not really sure on the date of how far I had stitched. But now it looks like this. So pretty. So I've gotten a lot more like bright greens and yellows in this section as the temperature's gone up. This one's interesting because this day, the high and the low are the same color. So I don't know what it was, but they were close enough that the colors were the same. So that was fun. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this one and how it's turning out. It's a fun one to stitch and it's great. Like if I don't have a ton of time and I know like, oh, I can at least get a couple of the day's highs done or the day's lows done. And it's kind of nice to like just really quickly stitch on that. But yeah, this one's been fun. This pattern is by the Needle and Floss. And she's got lots of other fun patterns. And I am part of her Patreon, so I get a new pattern every month. And the last one was like this really cool Pokeball. So I haven't downloaded it yet, though. I better do that. So that is everything that I am currently working on. We were in the UK during the last F1 race, so my F1 stitch did not get any love because I didn't bring it with me. Would have been a good one to bring, but I really wanted to get moving on Flossie Fox Shop's Farming Magic because I don't want to get too far behind because it ends in August. August is when we get the last part, so it's not like an end of the year thing, and then I can start something new. Oh my gosh. I am trying not to start anything new right now because I have so many whips going on right now and I'd love to finish something eventually. I mean, a lot of them are stitch alongs, but, and Heart of Spring should be done. I think if I do like 300 stitches every day, I'll get done by the 30th of May. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I think I can do it. That doesn't seem too difficult, but, and some days I do get more than that. So we'll have to see how things go with that one. But I do have a little bit of haul It's not like super exciting. Don't get too excited. But I have the other fabrics for the Heart of the Seasons stitch along. I ordered them all because some of them are kind of hard to find, so I was able to find them, and I was like, yes, go. Two of them I got off of Amazon, and those ones were really expensive for how big it is and what it's for and everything. So that's kind of annoying, but I got the other one from 123 Stitch, and yeah, that worked out for me. As you saw, Hearted Spring is on blue. I can't remember the name of it right now, but I'll put it up. And then for Heart of the Summer, it will be on this nice green. And this one is called Celadon. So it's a Zweigart fabric, 18 count Celadon. It's nice. It's like a nice, like light kind of green color. So it'll be pretty. And she uses a lot of the same colors, but like some of them are different within the patterns. But like the grass is all the same colors and stuff. But then there's some pops of other colors as it goes through the seasons that kind of fit the season better, obviously. So that is the Celadon for summer. And then for fall, I have Zweigart. And this is the one that I got from 123 Stitch. And this is 18 count Zweigart, and it is called Nougat, which I love. So this is for fall. It's kind of like a brown color, like really like soft brown. And yeah, that one would be cute. And it'll be cute because there's like pumpkins and stuff in the fall one. So the orange will really pop on it. Yeah, I've got the Nougat for fall. And then the last is winter. And I believe this is called Stone Gray. So Stone Gray for winter, which has a lot of blues and whites, as you can imagine, for the snow and things. So this little nice gray is gonna look really good. I'm excited for when this one comes around. They're really easy stitches. They're fun to do. So I'm really looking forward to getting those all done. I already like picked out a spot on my wall where I'm going to hang them during each season. So a few future plans. Like I said before, I am going to be putting Deathly Hallows away and getting Schitt's Creek back out. I'm going to continue working on Heart of Spring, and then next month, hopefully I will be finished and I can start on Heart of the Summer. And I want to keep up with my temperature stitch and also keep up with the Farming Magic stitch so that that one can be complete. No plans with what I'm going to do with any of these when they're finished, but I feel like it's kind of fun. I'm getting towards the finish line on a couple things. So yeah, I'll have a finish to show you guys at some point, maybe even a fully finish. Oh my God, like your minds are going to be like blown. So if you just came for the stitchy things, thank you so much for coming. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Also, if you want to see more of my updates, then hit the subscribe button so that you will never miss a video. Now, this is the portion of the video where we talk about chill things that I am watching or reading or listening to while I am stitching. I mean, we've been gone, so I haven't really done a ton of TV watching. A lot of hotel TV. In the last couple things where it always seems to be like CSI and I don't know, but we were in the UK, so yeah, I don't really know what's on TV there, but I did watch a show called Taskmaster that I have heard people talk about, and it was really funny. I really enjoyed it. I want to see if I can watch it here, but I doubt it. But I did like Taskmaster. That was fun. And we did watch a little bit of Eurovision. We watched like the semifinals, I think, where they like announced the 10 people who are going to be in the finals. So it was really fun and different. Like I'd never watched Eurovision. My like experience with Eurovision is from the Netflix movie with Rachel McAdams and Will Ferrell. So yeah. So I watched a few movies on the plane as well. I finally got to watch Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I watched it on the plane, which usually is not like the best experience, but I thought it was great. I would definitely watch it again. It was not about what I thought it was going to be about. I guess I didn't really know what it was about. It just looked cool. So I was like, oh yeah, she like travels between different universes and stuff, but I didn't know why she was traveling between these different universes. And so learning that in the movie was really exciting and fun and sweet. And I really liked it. It was a really good one. And now I have a newfound respect for the Everything Bagel. So if you haven't seen that one, definitely give it a watch. It's worth it. There was one part where I was like, oh my God, can anybody see my screen? I'm like, everybody can see what I'm watching on my screen right now, and it's so weird. But it's fine. It's fine. It was a plane. They gave me the parental advisory note. I think my kid was sleeping at the time. So it's good. It's all good. I did also watch a movie. My husband told me to watch it. He was like, you should watch this one. So it was called Operation Fortune, and it's a Jason Statham movie. So you can imagine what it was like. But it was kind of quirky and funny. Aubrey Plaza's in it, and she is super funny. She, is super dry humor person. She was on Parks and Recreation as April Ludgate. So I enjoyed it. It was just a silly little action comedy. So I do enjoy true crime from time to time. I try not to delve into it too much, because then I start getting super depressed, and then I wonder why I'm depressed. But I do enjoy true crime. I watched the Murdaugh case, and I watched the Murdaugh murders on Netflix. It was a documentary. Highly recommend. And then I was following the trial, which came out shortly after on YouTube, and crazy things going on with that family and that town, and it was madness. And then another documentary that had come out around the same time was called The Sins of Our Mother, and they in the news coverage, they deemed it like doomsday cult mom, and it is the case of Lori Vallow Daybell, and she was charged with the murder of her 2 children, and the reason why she murdered them was very crazy religious reasons why she felt that she needed to kill her children. And get married 4 times and kill her ex-husband and her brother. The body count is high, but it is very interesting psychologically, and just, I don't know. I'm always fascinated with crime. How does that person's brain work? So I was watching her trial on YouTube as well, since it was happening. And it was a little harder to watch that one because there weren't cameras allowed in the courtroom. So it's all audio recordings. As I was watching it a ton before we left for the UK. So then when I came back from the UK, I had to binge all the stuff so that I knew, because the verdict came out right when we got home. So I was like, oh, I gotta watch so I don't get any spoilers on the verdict. So ridiculous. Sins of Our Mother is a really great documentary, and then I'm sure you can find a recap of the trial somewhere. Another one where things are crazy and people do weird things. I have also been keeping up with the last season of Ted Lasso. I have some predictions on how I want things to end, or how I think they will end. Right now I'm Team Keely and Roy. I'm Keely and Roy have to get back together, otherwise it's just a waste of my time. But the other thing is, I think Nate is probably going to, I think Ted's going to leave. He's going to go back to the States, and I think Nate is going to end up being the coach of back at that team. So I'm hoping that's what happens. We'll have to see. Hopefully it has a good ending and not an ending that pisses me off. I love when shows like can get it together to like wrap it up and in a good way versus just being like, we have to be done, so we're done. Yeah, so I'm catching up on that. Been really enjoying Ted Lasso. I was laughing out loud a couple times at the last episode, so Roy Kent is hilarious. I also got to watch the first 2 episodes of the US version of Ghosts on the plane, and it's kind of annoying because they're pretty much identical, and I'm sure as like the seasons progress, different things happen. But so I got to watch the first 2 seasons, which was basically the same thing, just with American actors instead of British actors. And it was good. They have a little bit of different ghosts that have to do with like American history versus European history, so it was fun to kind of like get introduced to the characters and everything, but I still gotta find a way that I can watch it and not spend a bunch of money. I might have to like buy Paramount Plus and then binge it and then leave. Just cut it off. And finally, I have been watching a ton of YouTube videos of people playing The Sims. I have been playing The Sims a ton. I am slightly considering doing that for streaming, making a different channel, and streaming playing The Sims because it's so much fun, and it would be fun to play like on stream with like people in the chat. So if you like video games and you like The Sims, then I'll keep you posted and you can join me. But otherwise, I've been watching it and it's super fun, and then I've been playing a bunch, and it's such a good game. Like, I know it has its problems, but it is a really great game, and I missed playing it, and then now I'm like, oh, I can have like some like blocks of time to play. You can't play for like just 45 minutes. You have to play. So it's been nice to have like blocks of time now that I can play it and cause a little chaos for my Sims. It's fun. And with that, I think we've talked about everything. Amazingly enough, I am starving, so I am gonna go eat my lunch. But thank you so much for watching. Again, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you made it this far, definitely subscribe. And if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave a comment below. I absolutely love hearing from you guys and connecting with you guys. Again, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye.